Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to High Media TV. I am your host, Evan from High Media TV, and welcome back to High Media Headlines for today, September the 26th, 2025. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about Windows 10. The last good Windows operating system, although many people I think would contest me on that. That being said, I don't care. I know I'm right on this, primarily because when it comes, or at least it'll be the last decent Microsoft OS. Why? Well, something we talked about last year, back when Late Night News was still a show that we ran here on the program. Microsoft is canceling security updates and no longer supporting any Windows operating system other than Windows 11. Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's true. They are locking and forcing everybody to be stuck in the Windows 11 ecosystem. Now, this has probably been coming for a long time. This has been, rather to say, a long time coming. Microsoft is not exactly known to be the most friendly when it comes to personal computing, specifically, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the notion of being, say, respectful of your customers' rights and the right to repair and all that nonsense. Microsoft does not care about any of that. In fact, they probably look lustfully at the walled garden that Apple has forced its users into, and the fact that those users also, coincidentally, uh, thank Apple rather, for putting them in that situation. A relatively and fairly grotesque situation, if you ask me. I have lots of issues and criticisms of the have lots of issues and criticisms of the Apple ecosystem myself, but that is not what is at question here. Sometime next month in October, specifically, ladies and gentlemen, uh, on the 14th of October. Damn, I'm getting a vasectomy that day. I'm gonna have to come home under anesthesia or some shit and have to install Linux on my computer. That's gonna be fun. But I digress. Point is that Windows 10 is getting of having its official support end on October the 14th. A reminder that this operating system, in the terms of 11, is not even operable for machines older than, let's say, 5 or 6 years. There's certain laptops and things of people in my life that I know who would absolutely fold under the very stringent requirements for Windows 11. Not even the requirements. If you are somebody like me who's a little more privacy, maybe not focused, but certainly conscious, Windows 11 is a backdoor that allows them to use AI, use anything on your computer for AI training data, and turn and hell, even put ads in your window browsing. It is obscene. The European Union gets the benefit of uh, lapsing this for an extra year because they have laws on the books that prevent companies from just ending support for things willy-nilly. But unfortunately, the UK and also the US are not privy to this because, yay, free enterprise. Fundamentally, at the end of the day, this is a travesty, to put it, as severe as it needs to be. And it also is a deeply, deeply, deeply anger-inducing thing for yours truly. I find the continued erosion of our rights as consumers, especially in the tech space, to be one of my personal pet peeves. And I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, find just as much irritation in it as I potentially do. Moving on to the MB&E index. The MB&E index is how we here at High Media TV gauge the health of the American economy by looking at the store brand price of milk, bread, and eggs from major American retailers. The current MB&E index stands at $9.95, with Aldi's priced down to $6.87, ShopRite maintaining at $11.88, and Walmart at $7.02. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching this episode of High Media TV. I have been and continue to be your host, Evan from High Media TV, and we if you enjoyed this episode, you'll like other episodes too. We got tons of podcasts, oodles of podcasts, all found at himedia.gg/podcasts or wherever you get your pods. If and only if you have the scratch to do so, please consider subscribing on our Twitch or our Ko-Fi. Either get you tons of really cool perks in our Discord community, which you absolutely should join at the links down below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of High Media Headlines for today, not September the 26th, 2025. I am your host. Well, thank you for listening to High Media TV. I have been your host, Evan from High Media TV, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.